This episode is called Updates because I have some exciting, just really it's two updates. Some exciting updates. I got some exciting updates to share with you. Yeah, I went on my friend Jason Levin. He does subway.reader on Instagram. I talked about him before. It's going to be the next dude with Sign. Amazing brand. And he's going very viral. And I was with him when he created that Instagram account. He's going to actually probably share that story on my newsletter. And I was on his podcast and he said to me, he's like, what you're doing with a Bard is very smart because most people, they use generative AI to write their TikTok scripts, their Instagram scripts, their YouTube scripts, whatever it is. And you're using it to give you inspiration. And then you write the script yourself. And that was, I thought, such a great summary of what I'm doing and what seems to be working really well. So if you're a frequent listener of the pod, then 3 days ago now, I think 3 days ago, I recorded a podcast. Let's see, this is episode 160. Losing track now. Oh my gosh. This is episode 168. And on episode 165, I made a podcast where I shared this subject matter content marketing hack discovery that I made. And what I did was I had previously made a viral video where I just took a viral video from 15 years ago. My niche is marketing. This podcast is about growth hacking, growth marketing, growth hack. And that's my niche. And I took a marketing video from 15 years ago that was very viral. It's called How to Start a Movement. It's this guy dancing in a field by himself. There's people around. It's a concert. It's a festival. People are just sitting on the grass watching this guy. He's standing, dancing alone. And then he's joined by one person and then another person. And for a while, it's just the three of them dancing. And everyone's just watching them. No one else is getting up and dancing with him. And they're just dancing by themselves in this field. And then two more people join and two more people join and three more people after that. And very soon the whole field erupts into dance with this person, but they're all running to the group because they want to be part of this group. And then eventually this guy and his group overcomes everybody else. And there's more people dancing with this group than there are sitting on the grass. And then everyone's dancing. That video is called How to Start a Movement. I made a viral TikTok about that viral video. And so I took that YouTube link to the original video and I gave it to Bard. And I'm going to read the exact prompt I used. I think prompt language can be very important. I said to Bard, what are some other videos like this? And then I shared the YouTube link. And when I did that, I didn't think it was going to work. I did not think that Bard was going to look at the YouTube video. I hoped, because I knew YouTube was integrated, but I just didn't know how deep Bard would look at it. And Bard, I guess, looked at the transcript and then gave me two more recommendations. It's so crazy. It is so crazy how well this worked. And that first video now, so I just clicked on the first video, gave me two more videos. Said, here are other videos like How to Start a Movement. Gave me two more videos. I clicked on the first one and right away, within like the first minute or two, I found something interesting. I found this story about Fiji Water versus Cleveland Water, where Fiji Water did a marketing campaign that failed. They said it's called Fiji because it's not bottled in Cleveland, and Cleveland did tests and found that Cleveland's tap water is healthier, tastier, and thousands of times less expensive than Fiji's. I made a TikTok about that. When I recorded that podcast 3 days ago, episode 165, when I recorded that podcast, the video was up to 90,000 views at the time of the recording. Now that video is up to 1.5 million views. The next day, I made a TikTok about, I'm going to talk about it in a moment, the most impressive SEO thing I've seen. And that wasn't a recommendation from Bard. So that wasn't using this content marketing hack. But yesterday, I just clicked on the second video that Bard had sent me. Like I said, Bard sent me, it said, here are some other videos like How to Start a Movement. It sent me this first video about Fiji Water. Made a video about that. And then I clicked on the second video. And again, just like before, only 2 minutes into the video, maybe less, I saw something that I thought was interesting and that was related to my niche. And it was about Steve Jobs talking about how well the Got Milk campaign worked and why you sell the benefits, not the features. So I made a video about that. That was my TikTok yesterday. you listen regularly, you know that I make a TikTok every day. It comes out onto every other platform simultaneously. So it's a video every day. I make a short form mobile video every day about growth hacking and marketing. So I made that video using Bard's content recommendation. That video is up to 215,000 views. I woke up at 6 a.m. an hour ago. The video was at 158,000 views, and now I just refreshed. And an hour later, it's up to 219,000 views. It actually, in the time I've been recording this podcast, it went up 4,000 views. This is amazing. And I was thinking about why this works so well. This is what I said to my friend Jason on the podcast yesterday. And this is something that Mr. Beast has said as well. You could put the same amount of effort and time and money into videos A and B, the same amount of effort, time, and money. And if video B has better subject matter, it can do 300, 400, 500, 1,000 times better than video A. The money's the same, the effort is the same, but the idea, the subject matter is so much better. And so it makes sense to get the best subject matter that you can. And that's what I'm doing. Bard is giving me subject matter that has worked before, that is basically validated. These are videos that other people have found interesting on YouTube. Bard has that data, has that engagement data. And then I watch the video, and immediately, the reason that these videos on YouTube do well is because they all start with strong beginnings. Any video that does well has a strong beginning. If it didn't have a strong beginning, people wouldn't watch the rest. And that's why I'm getting all of my subject matter from the beginning of these videos that Bard is recommending. So far, I'm 2 for 2. I did not expect to be 2 for 2. I expected video 2 to flop. I just didn't expect it. And I'll probably make video 3 today. We'll see how it does. So how does this relate to you, the listener? How does this relate to you, the listener who wants to get visibility for your brand? Actually, I thought about if I was to rename this show. I'm not. The best name is the name that you stick with. But if I was to rename this show, I would call it Got to Market. Not Go to Market, Got to Market, because you got to market. Or we've got to get to market. I think Got to Market would be such a great name for this podcast, but I don't have plans on renaming it from The Edward Show. I really believe the best name is just the name that you stick with. Most people can't be consistent. And most people can't go at something for a long time. And if you go at something for a long time, you're just guaranteed to win in huge ways. So the best name is the name that you stick with. But so how does this relate to you? If you're doing content marketing is one of my favorite types of marketing. It is one of the most popular types of marketing. There's a lot of people who are doing content marketing for their brands. You need good subject matter for your content. Like I said, the best content has the best subject matter. And what could you do? You could basically brainstorm with Bard, say if you've made content about a YouTube video like I have in the past, then you could just take the prompt that I used. Again, that prompt was, what are some other videos like this? And then you share the YouTube video. If you've never made content about a popular YouTube video, then you say, this is my niche. This is what I'm making content about. Give me popular YouTube videos within this niche and within this type of content that I can draw inspiration from. And I think that would work because these generative AI solutions are amazing recommendation engines. All of them. Grok, I've talked about before. Grok is a great recommendation engine for well-performing, interesting, insightful tweets and threads on Twitter. Bard's giving me these amazing, valuable videos. I really can't believe how well this has worked so far. I'm sure I'll get a flop sooner or later. And I want to explain, the video that I made yesterday, it's up to 219,000 views. The average view count on TikTok for one of my videos is 2,000 to 5,000. That's the average now. So getting 219,000 views is crazy, but it, makes sense using validated content. So if you're doing content marketing, and if you're not, one of my favorite types of marketing, if you're doing content marketing, all about the subject matter, and this trick has been giving me great subject matter. I call it a content marketing hack. It's really a subject matter hack. It's been very good to me so far. We'll see if it's good to me in the future. If it is, I'm going to continue to share my results and updates. But I have one more update. The last 2 podcasts I made were about the most impressive thing I've seen in search engine optimization, this company, Eightify.app. It didn't exist a year ago. Now it ranks for over 200,000 keywords. I did a deep dive into it the last 2 days to see how it got there. You can listen to those podcast episodes. And then yesterday I recorded a podcast, what I would do if I were them to avoid a penalization from Google, because the way that they got to 200,000 rankings is they use AI generated content. Basically, they summarize YouTube videos using GPT. Those summaries get saved as pages on their site. They're doing lots of other SEO things properly. You can go listen to the podcasts. It's, I think, some of my best podcasts to hear exactly how they did it. But they run this risk, and this is what I talked about, and I made a TikTok about it, and I made these podcasts about it. The risk is that it's like the snake eating its own tail, because they're putting out all this AI-generated content. It's ranking on Google, and then other generative AI like Bard or even GPT itself will train off of this. It's like the snake eating its own tail. And the reason they'll train off of this is because of the reason that it ranks on Google, which is that this content is passing the AI writing detectors, popular AI writing detectors. It's passing them. And that's why I think that's one of the reasons why it ranks so well on Google. And that's why it's at risk of being used as training data for GPT, which is what it's using, and for Bard. And if this happens, this ruins the model. So this is not in Google's best interest, and it's not in OpenAI's best interest. And so I made these episodes, and then I sent a message to the founder, and I did not expect to hear back from him. I just figured I sent him this message on LinkedIn. I just DM'd the guy on LinkedIn. We didn't know each other. He hadn't listened to my podcasts at the time. And I just figured he was going to be so heads down building, so busy that he wouldn't see the message, but he got back to me within an hour. And I think it's useful to hear successful messages, to hear the copy from successful messages. So I'm actually going to read what I sent to this founder. I think it's so useful to hear the language that people use when they get responses. So this is what I said, and I'm actually going to share the recommendation that this guy put in within 30 minutes of me suggesting it. So I said, the subject was, in LinkedIn, you add a subject just like you would with an email. So I said, you should block Bard and ChatGPT on your robots.txt. And then this is the rest of the message. I did a deep dive into your SEO results yesterday because it's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in SEO. But if you don't block Bard and ChatGPT, you may get a penalization from Google, as LLMs are training off of unchecked AI-generated text. Easy way to mitigate this risk. Add user agent GPT bot, disallow /summary, user agent Google extended, disallow /summary to your robots.txt. This makes it so ChatGPT and Bard will not train off your AI-generated content. You can also add no AI into the meta robots of your summary pages. Meta name equals robots, content equals no AI. No AI isn't industry standard yet, but it might be, so it's an easy precaution. Hope this helps. You're crushing, Edward. And then the guy got back to me. Within 30 minutes, he put it into his robots.txt, and we continued talking. And he shared all this stuff with me. It was such a great conversation. And we'll still continue talking. Actually, he might come to Poland. Maybe we'll have coffee. It was very, very cool. Very cool. I just wanted to give value. I was just so impressed with their results, and I'm so inspired because I think anybody who has a piece of software with user-generated content could figure out a hack like this. Could figure out something like what they're doing. If you have a piece of software that uses UGC, user-generated content, then you can combine that with AI-generated content. And as long as you tell the LLMs not to train off of this, it's a really good precaution, and you could get similar results. So if you want to hear how to do that, just listen to the past 2 podcasts that I made. It's all about that. Anyway, this is a good episode. I'm very satisfied with these updates, very satisfied how things are going. I'm also getting links using feature.com. I guess I'll talk about that one tomorrow. Going hard on building domain authority, SEO domain authority on my own website. And I'm getting links. Really exciting time. And I'm so thankful and happy to share all of this with you. It is 7:15 in the morning here in Wrocław, Poland. Back on my 6 a.m. sleep schedule. It feels so good. The sun has not risen yet, but it's about to. I can see it creeping over the rooftops in front of me. I got an Americano on my desk that I made with lemon in it. I'm going to have a short breakfast and head to the gym. It's a beautiful, rainy morning, but beautiful nonetheless. And I am so grateful that I got to share it with you. This is episode 168 of The Edward Show. This is my growth hack podcast, my daily 7 days a week growth hacking podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.